Hey guys, welcome to CPM 2. This is Module 2, Lesson 4. We are doing unit conversions. And basically this is just dimensional analysis. We're going to get into some harder dimensional analysis when we go into CPM 3, but this is kind of a preview of it. So, right here we got a big paragraph. It says, in the United States, two systems of measurements are commonly used. They are the U.S. measurement system and the metric system. The U.S. measurement system is familiar to most Americans. Units such as feet, miles, ounces, and gallons are used. However, the metric system is also commonly used in fields such as medicine, sports, international marketing, and certain physical science. We are accustomed to buying 2-liter bottles of soft drinks, watching television covers of a 100-meter dash at the Olympic Games, or taking a 200-milligram dose of a pain reliever. Really and truly, there's 6 pages. There is a 7th page, but that's just information. So there's 6 pages of examples and information. But this can really be split into 2 little portions. The first portion of our examples is going to be over the measurement system. And so that's going to be examples 1 through 4. All of those are going to be pretty much the exact same. Now we're going to go over like measurement, weight, and I think it's quantity or like capacity. Okay, so like 3 different types, but those are going to be pretty much all the exact same thing. And then the second half of this is going to be all over the metric system. Your metric system examples will be the back half of this. So that's going to be examples 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now really and truly, if you know how to do example 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the same thing. If you know how to do example 5, 6, and 7 are the same thing. Okay, it just has to do with, is it weight, is it distance, or is it the amount of something? Okay, so this is all going to be about converting our units. So we have these U.S. unit measures of length. So we know that 12 inches equals a foot, 3 feet a yard, blah, 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 blah. These will all be given to you on your test, so you don't need to memorize them. Now, it says right here that to convert from one unit of length to another, we will use unit fractions. We define a unit fraction to be a fraction that's equal to 1. So for example, because my 12 inches equals a foot, it does not matter if I do 12 inches over 1 foot or 1 foot over 12 inches. It's the same length no matter if I'm in feet, or inches. And so they are equivalent. They both equal 1. So whenever they give me these things right here that tell me what things equal, it doesn't matter the order you put things in. So like for example in this one here, it doesn't matter if I do 3 feet over 1 yard. Excuse me. That's the same as 1 yard over 3 feet. Okay, and why that is important is because the whole goal of this dimensional analysis is to get your units to cancel. Get units to cancel. Okay, so for example 1, I'm going to convert 8 feet to inches. So I'm going to start with whatever they give me. They give me 8 feet, so I'm going to start with my 8 feet. And you don't have to, but if you want to, you can make these into a fraction. So we'll put this over 1. Okay, not necessary, but if you like it, we'll do that. And then we're going to times that by my unit conversion of feet to inches. So here they tell me 12 inches equals 1 foot. Because I have my feet here on the top, that means now I want my feet on the bottom. So I'm going to put my 1 foot here. So then that leaves my 12 inches on the top. So now I'm just cross reducing. I've got feet diagonally, so those cancel each other out. And now this one's just a multiplication problem. I've got 8 times 12, which we can use calculators now. So just put that in your calculator. And we're going to get 96. And then what are my units that I have left here? Inches. And that's exactly what we were wanting to do. Convert 8 feet into inches. I have my answer and the unit that I need. So that's 96 inches. Okay, let's try this again. So here on B, it says convert 7 feet to yards. So start with what they give you. We're given 7 feet. Put that over 1 if you want to, if you need to. And then times that by. So I'm going from feet to yards. So now I am using this unit conversion right here. 3 feet equals 1 yard. Because I have feet on the top here, that means I need my feet on the bottom over here. So now I have 3 feet. So that leaves my 1 yard to go up here on the top. So just like before, my feet cancel. That's the whole point of putting 1 on top, 1 on bottom. You always want 1 on top, 1 on bottom. Now multiply straight across. I've got 7 times 1 yard. So 7 yards. Over 1 times 3. So 3. So you can keep that just like this, since it doesn't really tell me how to write this. Or you can say that's about 2.3, and that 3 keeps repeating, so I'll even put that line over that. That's from last lesson. 2.3 yards. Okay, either of those would be good on that problem, since it doesn't really say to round it or leave it as a fraction. Okay, so let's keep trying on this. Example 2 will be a little bit different though. So on example 2, now they tell me sometimes it's more meaningful to express a measurement of length with mixed units, such as 1 foot and 5 inches. So here they want to convert 134 inches to how many feet and how many inches is that? So instead of like on this page here, where it was like, how do I write this answer? Do I write it like this or like this? They're wanting these in wholes. So here, use your conversion. Since I'm going from inches to feet, on the front page it said that 1 foot equals 12 inches. And that could have been wrote the other way. I don't really remember, but it's the same thing. So we're going to divide. So divide your 12 into 134. And this one, unfortunately, even though we can use calculators now, is a long division problem. So I need 12 into 134. Let me write that a little bit better. All right, so 12 can't go into 1, but 12 can go into 13 one time. Multiply it back and we get 12. Subtract to get 1, bring down your 14. 12 goes into 14 one time, multiply it back, and subtract. So, once I get done with my long division here, this top portion is my feet, so we get 11 whole feet out of it, and then we're left with 12 inches. So we get 12 feet, nope, we get 11 feet and 2 inches. Same thing on this one. Convert 47 feet to how many yards and how many feet. So use your conversion. And what was our conversion? Our conversion is that 1 yard equals 3 feet. Okay. So, divide. All right, divide. So, 3 goes into 47. 3 goes into 4 one time, multiply it back, get 3, subtract, get 1. Bring down your 7. 3 goes into 17, 5 times evenly. That's going to give me 15, and then a 2. So this top number tells me how many whole yards I have, and this bottom number tells me how many feet I am left with. So now on this one, we get 15 yards and 2 feet left over. Okay, so those are a little bit different, but 3 and 4 will be the exact same as what we just did, but now I'm converting units of weight rather than length from before. It's the exact same concept though, just now I have different conversions. Okay, and again, when they tell me 16 ounces equals 1 pound, it doesn't matter if I do ounces over pounds or pounds over ounces, I am still talking about the same amount of weight, even though it's measured differently. Same thing here with pounds and tons. It doesn't matter if I do pounds over tons or tons over pounds, it's still the exact same amount of weight. So we just got to pick which way we want to write this fraction. So on A here, I'm converting 9,000 pounds to tons. So start with what they gave you. We are starting with 9,000 lbs. Okay, put that over 1 if you want that into a fraction. And now use this conversion here. Because I have pounds on top, that means I need these pounds on the bottom. So I'll put 1 pound down here. So those 16, whoa, no, sorry guys. I'm right about the pounds, but because I'm going to tons here, I'm using this one here, my bad. So still the same thing, I've got pounds on top, so I want my pounds right here on the bottom. So I've got 2,000 pounds on the bottom, which leaves me my 1 ton on the top. So now my pounds cancel, that's the whole point, multiply straight across. I've got 9,000 times 1 ton, so that's going to give me 9,000 tons over 1 times 200 or 2,000. And now just divide. So use your calculator. 9,000 divided by 2,000 is going to give me 4.5. So I've got 4.5 tons. Okay, same thing here. Convert 3 pounds to 2 ounces. So start with what they give you. We're starting off with 3 pounds. I don't know why I want to put an S on the LB. So 3 pounds over 1 times, now I'm using this one here because I'm wanting to go from pounds to ounces. So same concept though, I have pounds on the top, so I need pounds right here on the bottom. 1 on top, 1 on bottom. So 1 lb on the bottom. So that leaves my 16 ounces on the top. So cancel those out and multiply straight across. 3 times 16 gives me 48 ounces. And 1 times 1 is 1, so you can put this all over 1, but that's not necessary. So we're just going to leave this as 48 ounces. Okay, turn that page. We have example 4 with 4 examples. Same concept though. Now I'm talking about capacity. Treat it the exact same way that we did with length and with weight. It's no different. Get your units to cancel. So convert 9 quarts to gallons. So right here, I have a conversion with quarts and gallons. So start with your quarts. We got 9 quarts. Put that over 1 if you'd like to. Times, I've got quarts on top, so I need quarts on the bottom. So 4 quarts down here. Over 1 gallon on the top. Your quarts cancel. That's the whole point. So 4 times 1 gallon, 9 times 1 gallon is 9 gallons. Over 1 times 4. So use your calculator, divide. 9 divided by 4 gives me 2.25. So 2.25 gallons. Okay, convert 43 pints to quarts. So right here, I have a conversion from pints to quarts or quarts to pints. Works both ways, right? So start with what they give you. We have 43 pints. Put that over 1 if you choose to. Because I have pints on the top, I need pints on the bottom. So my 2 pints goes down here, which leaves my 1 quart up at the top. My pints cancel, multiply straight across. 43 times 1 quart is 43 quarts. 1 times 2 is 2, and then divide that. And we get 21.5 quarts. Okay, see, we're converting 14 cups to quarts. Now, this one will be a little bit different because here's the reason why. When I start with my 14 cups, and we're putting this over 1, I only have 2 different conversions with cups. I've got one that takes me from cups to ounces and one that takes me from cups to pints. Neither of those, however, get me to quarts. So this one is going to be a 2-step problem. After I convert this from cups to pints, then I'm going to convert this from pints to quarts. So in this one, I'm not just using one of these conversions, I'm using both of these conversions. And you're going to have 1 or 2 like this on your homework. So that's the reason it's in here. It won't be like this on your test, on your homework, yes. So if I start with this first one here, I've got cups on the top, so I need this cups on the bottom. So I'm going to put my 2 cups down here, and that's going to leave me with this 1 pint on the top. So notice my cups still cancel, but now I'm left with pints, and I need quarts. So we're not done converting. So then we're going to use this second one here. So now I have pints on top, so now I need this pints on the bottom. And then that leaves me with this 1 quart on the top. So now my pints cancel, and now I'm finally left with the unit I need. So now just multiply straight across. I've got 14 times 1 times 1 quart. So I'm going to get 14 quarts. All over 1 times 2 times 2. Only those units canceled, not those numbers. So this is all over 4. And then 14 divided by 4 is going to give me 3.5 quarts. Okay, D is the same thing, but now I'm going backwards. So So now I'm going from quarts to cups. So I'm using the same two here, but opposite. Okay, so I'm going to do D down here since I kind of ran into my own room. So start with your 26 quarts. Okay, I'm going to put that over 1. So notice you have 2 quarts. This quarts to gallons, though, doesn't help me. So I'm going to go quarts to pints. So because my quarts is on top, now I need this quarts on the bottom. So I have 1 quart down here, which leaves my 2 pints. Okay, this one here, my 2 pints on the top. So my quarts cancel, and now I'm left with pints, but I need this to cups. So we got to keep converting. So now I'll use this top one here. So now I have pints on the top, so I need pints on the bottom, which leaves us 2 cups to be on the top. Now my pints cancel, and now I'm left with the cup on the top. So now I'll multiply straight across. 26 times 2 times 2 cups gives me 104 cups. And then you have 1 times 1 times 1. So I'm not going to put this all over 1. I'm going to leave that as 104 cups. Okay, so that's that answer there. Okay. So that's kind of the first half of this lesson. That is all over. That's all over what we call the metric or the measurement system. Okay, those are your examples 1 through 4. You're using dimensional analysis. The whole goal is to what? To get your units to cancel. Now let's go on to the metric system. So, right here, it says the basic unit of length in a metric system is a meter. A meter is slightly longer than a yard. All units of length in the metric system are based on a meter. Like the decimal system, the metric system uses powers of 10 to define its units. So this is technically like 10 to the 0. So this is like 10 to the first, 10 second, 10 cubed. So 10 to the -1, 10 to the -2, 10 to the -3. That's what it means by powers of 10. Okay, and you could use it that way, but we're not going to use it that way. So when it has this unit right here, they said that the basic unit of a length in the metric system is what? The meter. So right here, we're talking about your meter. So now when they're talking about the kilometer, that's this right here. When they're talking about your hectometer, that's right here, and so on and so forth. Deca, deci, centa, milla. Okay. You can use this the same way that we did dimensional analysis. So if you like the dimensional analysis way, you can use these conversions here to use that. So for example, on A, if I'm wanting to convert 3,500 meters to kilometers, start with what they give you. So I have 3,500 meters. We can put this over 1. Okay, and then times that by our unit conversion right here. So because I have meters on top, I want these meters on the bottom. So I'll put 1,000 meters on the bottom, which leaves my 1 kilometer on the top. My meters cancel, whole point, multiply straight across. 35 times 1 kilometer. I don't know if it's kilometer or kilometer, so I'm going to keep saying that back and forth, but if I say kilometer or kilometer, it's the same thing. So 35 times 1 kilometer is 35 kilometers. 1 times 1,000 is 1,000. And now when I divide, I get 3.5 kilometers. Okay. Here's the other way to use this. Is by this metric system conversion. All you are doing here is moving your decimal so many places to the left or to the right. So, because on this problem, I am starting at meters and going to kilometers. If it doesn't have a prefix in front of this meter, that's your unit. So I'm going to write this out. Here, okay, I'm stuttering, I'm sorry. This little acronym helps you remember the order your metric system goes in. King Arthur died unusually drinking chocolate milk. So I'm going to write just the abbreviation right down here. So we've got King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Because I'm starting in just my regular unit, my meter, I'm starting at my unit. I am wanting to go to my kilometer, so that's my K. So I'm moving this 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So take your number. You've got 3,500. And remember, if you don't see that decimal's at the very end. So move it 1, 2, 3 times, just like we did on that diagram. So from here, I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3. My decimal now needs to go right here. So this becomes 3.5 kilometers. Exactly what we got with that dimensional analysis. If you like dimensional analysis, use it. But for the rest of this lesson, I'm going to be using this metric system and just moving the decimal. This is why metric system rocks and the US measurement system drools. Okay? So, let's try this again. On B, I know I kind of went and invaded its space. Convert 2.3 meters to centimeters. So, write out your metric system thing. We've got King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. I am starting at meters, which is just your regular unit, right? Because it doesn't have a prefix. And I'm wanting to move it to the centimeter. So from the unit, I'm going 1, 2 units over, but now I'm going to the right. So take your number, and now that they have the decimal, move it 1, 2 units over to the right. Put in a 0 right here. So the answer here is 230 centimeters. Okay, let's try again here. Convert 2.5 meters to millimeters. So we have King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Starting at meters, that is my unit, and I need to go to millimeters, which is this M right here. So from my unit, I'm moving my decimal 1, 2, 3 places over to the right. So I have 2.5, and I'm going to move this I'm sorry guys, I'm going to move this 1, 2, 3 places over to the right. Put in your zeros. So this becomes 2,500 millimeters. That's it, guys. Okay, last one with distance. Convert 450,000 millimeters to meters. So, King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Now I'm starting at millimeter, so I'm starting here, and I need to go to meters, which is my unit. So I am moving this 1, 2, 3 places over to the left. So I've got 450,000. I'm going to take away that comma. If you don't see a decimal, your decimal's at the very end. So move it 1, 2, 3 units over to the left. This becomes 450 meters. Okay, it's just a matter of moving that decimal, and that is literally it. And if you kind of notice, when I move this, I kind of put that arrow here so that I know what direction I am moving that decimal, whether it's to the left or to the right. So you might want to kind of use that to help yourself. So these were our examples over length. Now on this next page, I have mass. So now my unit measure is grams. So my unit, grams. Just like before, my unit of measure was meter. Now it's just gram. So it doesn't matter what it says. It can be kilogram, hectogram, decagram, decigram, centigram, milligram. It doesn't matter what's in front of that gram, you still treat it the exact same. So here we're going from kilogram to grams. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. I'm starting at my kilogram, and I need to go to gram, which is my unit. So I'm moving this 1, 2, 3 units over to the right. So I've got 3.2, and I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3 units over to the right. So this becomes 3,200 grams. Exact same thing as whenever this is meter and whenever this was distance. Okay, same exact thing. Convert 2.35 centigrams to grams. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. I am starting here at centa, and I'm going to my unit, I'm going to my grams. Grams has nothing in front of it, so that's your unit. So we're going 1, 2 units over, this time to the left. So I've got 2.35, and now I'm going to move this decimal 1, 2 places over, still put in your 0. So this becomes 0.0235 grams. Convert 4,300 milligrams to grams. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. I'm going from milligrams to my unit of grams. So we're going over 1, 2, 3 units to the left. So 43,000. If you don't see that decimal, it's at the very end. So move it 1, 2, 3 units over to the left. So this becomes 4.3 grams. Do you see how this is the exact same thing as my length? Okay, it's still the same prefixes, just my unit changed from meters to grams. That's it. That's it, guys. Here, convert grams to milligrams. So, King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. I'm going from my unit to milligrams to this M. So I'm going to move this over 1, 2, 3 units to the right. So my 3.4, 1, 1, 2, 3, put in your 0. So this becomes 3,410 milligrams. All right, that was our mass. We've done length, we've done mass. So on our last page, we're going to do capacity. Capacity has a different unit. It has liters. So my unit in this one is liters. Still the same thing. Kiloliter, hectoliter, decaliter, so on and so forth. So here, 410 liters to kiloliters. So, King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. I'm going from my liters to my kilo right here. So move it 1, 2, 3 times. So my 410, if you don't see that decimal, it's at the very end, needs to go over 1, 2, 3 times. This is 0.41. Okay, and you don't need that 0, right? That's the same thing, so I'm just going to cut that 0 off. 0.41 kiloliters. Convert 0.16 kiloliters to liters. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. I'm starting here and I'm going to my unit, my liters. So we're going over 1, 2, 3 times. So in this 0.16, we are moving this decimal 1, 2, 3 places over. Add your 0. So this is the same as 160 liters. Convert 1,500 milliliters to liters. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. I am starting in milliliter and I need to go to my unit to my liter. So we're going 1, 2, 3 units over to the right, or sorry, to the left. So my 1,500, this decimal is at the very end. If I don't see it, it's at the very end. Move this over 1, 2, 3 units. So this becomes 1.5 liters. And then our last example, we're converting 0.185. This DL right here stands for decaliters. So King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Because this DL is right here, we're starting here. And I need to go to milliliters, which is here. So you're going to go over 1, 2 units. So 0.185, we're going 1, 2 units over. This is the same as 18.5 milliliter. Okay, and just so you know, if it's ever talking about decaliter, it's going to have an A in there. This one's just a DL, that one's a DAL. So that's how you know the difference between those two. This very last page is just information for you. Okay, you can use it if you'd like to, or you don't, but it's showing you that your units is meters for length, liter for volume or capacity, grams is your weight or mass. So that's just kind of an information page for you. But these last three have all been the exact same, no matter if I'm doing length here, weight here, and capacity here. And then these were all the same for your units of measure in the US system, the measurement system. You're using dimensional analysis to get these all the same here. So that's why I split this up between examples 1 through 4 and 5 through 7. It's the same thing over and over and over, whether it's length, weight, or volume. Okay, so that's all I got for this lesson. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and then of course rewind this video, pause it as you need to.